looking back in the film of that game?
I really thought, that was probably his best overall game that he's played since he's been here. And, obviously some of the passing statistics aren't going to reflect that, but I did think he was impactful in terms of his pass rush. But the way he played the run was definitely the best that it had been since he's been here in terms of being impactful, but also doing his job within the defense. And I think he went into the game with the mindset of doing whatever he had to do for the team to be successful. And I thought he played really hard, and I thought he played really well.
We'll go to Christy up front here.
On the missed field goal by Clemson, did they feel pressure differently from you guys from something you did earlier in the game, or what did you see on that play specifically?
I was probably a little bit cautious on the first field goal attempt, just with them having a new kicker situation. We were very fake aware on the first field goal attempt. On that field goal attempt, I didn't think a fake was necessarily something that would have a high likelihood of happening, so we went a little bit more to a traditional outside block. But I don't know that it was that had a big impact on it. I think he just pulled the ball a little bit, but I do know we got some pretty good pressure with Renardo off the edge. Whether that impacted it or not, it's really hard to say, but obviously critical play in the game.
Brendan?
I think you've addressed it a little bit before, but the good moments keep compounding for Ryan. For him to keep responding based on what he did last season to have this year, I guess, how rewarding is that for you as a coach to see that happen?
Well, Ryan's done a great job this year to this point. And I think he's handled everything like a pro, whether it was when he wasn't hitting the ball as well a year ago. And really towards the end of last year, I thought he really did a nice job of responding. And I think that's just kind of carried into this year. And, and he knows though, you're one kick away or one game away from people being back on you a little bit. And I don't think he worries about that. I think he's going to go out there and do the best that he can possibly do. I know he had a really good off week in terms of just getting back to some things he wanted to work on, and I know he's primed to have a good second half of the year.
Besson?
Alex Mastromano, especially in that fourth quarter, had a couple of good punts to pin him deep. How much does that help? How much do the defensive players go with him? Say good job, and how much does that matter?
Oh, that was huge. I thought Alex did a great job for us. He was able to flip the field over a couple times, especially that punt that was late in the game that we were in our own end zone. I thought he hit a great ball there. If he doesn't, he's going to set up a pretty short field position for them. I thought our coverage was really good, and I think our guys recognized it. As a matter of fact, Alex was our special teams player of the game within our own team last week, and it really came down to how he operated and how he was able to affect the field position in the game.
Aslan?
Your guys are all up front defensive ends going up against a quarterback like Drones. It seems like they're running almost like triple option concept. It seemed like what sort of challenge is that? Is there more of a spotlight on you guys to be that much more fundamentally sound?
Yeah, I think anytime that you play a mobile quarterback, there is the point of emphasis in terms of everybody being able to execute their role and responsibility, especially in the design quarterback run game, which you're referencing. Everyone's got a job, everyone's got to fit their gap, everyone has a role and responsibility, especially when the quarterback starts running the ball, and it's really critical that we're disciplined in everything that we do, to make sure that we handle our role within the defense.
Corey?
I was watching a game where I think they said there are over 70 punters in Division I football from Australia. I mean, that's become like a pipeline now, a cottage industry really. Does Mastromano have you talking to other people out there? Is that just what, you know what I mean? Like, does he have obviously has some connections in that country.
Sure.
Does he have some connections for who's going to replace him?
Well, his coaches that kind of facilitated some of that recruitment are the ones that I talk to. I'm sure he has a pulse in terms of who else may be good players, but not something that he and I generally engage on. But we'll have to make some decisions when that time comes. I really like Max Schemento, who's on our team now, as you know, when Alex is graduated and stuff. So we'll see kind of where that goes. It's a little bit early on in that process, but you know, I guess the thing that the Australian player brings to the table is just multiplicity in how you punt. You know, the roll punts both ways. Now you see more and more guys kicking with both the right and left foot. So it does add an element to your strategy when it comes to punt, and also adds a little bit of a challenge to your punt return as well.
Ira?
On the place kicker, just as a position, you watch these, I mean, I assume when you watch some of these other games, Clemson, or excuse me, the Duke Notre Dame game, obviously the Clemson guys had this situation. Seems like these kickers, I mean, a lot of, when they have these misses, it's so magnified. Like how big of a part of that is just handling, like you said, the way Fitzgerald has handled his situation. Like they all can kick, or they wouldn't be on these teams. But handling that, how difficult is that?
No, you know, I think you know, that situation, those moments that you're referencing, those are high pressure, high leverage situations, and you know, you got to be in them to, you know, enough times in your career probably to be comfortable with them. I don't know that anyone's ever totally comfortable in those moments, but you know, I think Ryan's done a great job of responding both positively to positive moments and to moments that were negative, and just continue to focus on the next kick. But you're right, you know, there's a lot of games where that's what it comes down to, and you know, and we talk about it all the time as a team, as a program, as a staff, that, you know, you got to play every play, because you never know which one is going to be the one that directly impacts the game, and a lot of times it's those kicking situations that do, and you got to be ready for when your opportunity presents itself.
Go back over here to Essen.
With obviously with Fitzgerald winning the kicking competition, Keltner was involved as well. When you guys get in a game like Southern Miss where you have a blowout, is there consideration of giving Keltner opportunities as well, like when some of the backups go in?
You know, it depends on the situation. Like in that game, we did play Max Schimento as a kickoff guy in that Southern Miss game to get him some reps and some opportunities. It just depends. It just depends. I mean, there may be a situation where that comes up at some point in the year, but especially that early in the year, I was really looking just to try to keep Ryan in rhythm. Wasn't really looking to make any adjustments there, but we'll see as the season goes on whether that's something that could come up.
We'll go to Ira for the last one.
On excuse me, Clemson's last play, the pass deflection, was it Pat that got it?
Yeah.
And is that, did you guys play that situation the same throughout the game, or did you have to adjust much in that?
You know, in terms of that specific play, first of all, I thought Pat played really, really well. He was impactful on a couple plays where he's able to use his length, get his hands up, impact throws, made a huge stop the play right before the field goal that we forced on the quarterback runs. Pat really played well, and I thought he really played well in the fourth quarter. But in terms of that call, I mean, I thought Coach Fuller made a really good call. I mean, 4th and 2, you know, everything kind of happened real fast, because it went from 3rd and 1 to now 4th and 2. You know, thinking that they were going to come out and maybe run the ball on the 3rd down play, and then they threw it out on the spot screen, and then Coach made a great call. He went zero pressure, brought double-edge pressure. Pat was able to get his hands up in a throw lane, knowing the ball was going to have to come out quick in that situation, and you know, thankfully we were able to make a play. And he needed all of that 6'5" frame and length to get a finger on it, but it was a critical play in the game, obviously, and you know, it was exciting to see him have that opportunity in that moment in such a big situation for the program.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.